Okay, so welcome to the Women's Health and Hormone class. Hope this is an informative session for you, that you can find ways to help balance some of those big hormonal dips that we sometimes come across. So first of all, what are hormones in our body? They affect every single body system, and the balance of hormones will influence our good health and well-being from the start of our early teens right through to past our menopause. And hormones are our body's messengers. They travel in our bloodstream to tissues and to organs, and they send signals to those tissues to tell them what to do. So when we're not producing enough hormones, or we've got too much, they're not the right amount, or they're disrupted in some way, then that's where the imbalance can come in and can cause a lot of symptoms that we can talk about. So we're just going to have a look at the endocrine glands. So the endocrine system is known as our sort of hormonal landscape. These are a special group of cells. And the endocrine glands include the pituitary gland, the pineal, the thymus, the thyroid, and the adrenal glands, as well as controlling the ovaries and what goes on there. Our hormones are so powerful, we only need a tiny amount to cause big changes in our cells or even our whole body. And that's why too much or too little of a certain hormone can really cause serious issues. So I'm going to touch on how we can support ourselves, whether we are pre-menopausal or post-menopausal. It doesn't matter at what stage we are in our cycle. There's lots of ways that we can become more balanced throughout our years. So first of all, just going to talk about when we're mentioning any of the oils to help support hormone balance. We're talking about CPTG oils, which are certified pure, tested grade, the source from where they naturally grow in the world. It's in the most desired environment, so it can optimize the growth of the plant and ensure that its potency is the best it can be for its therapeutic effects on our body. So all the oils are 100% pure, with no synthetic things added to it or adulterated. So we're going to look at 4 ways that we can support hormone balance: reducing toxic load, nutrition and self-care, supporting hormone balance with various things that we can try, and supporting the symptoms of these hormonal uncomfortable symptoms as well. So let's have a look at some of the symptoms. So generally, when we're healthy, our body knows how to heal. We can take control of our health. And when we're looking at a cell in our body and the receptors, our cells are constantly communicating with each other to do their intended function. And when a toxin blocks the cells, it can disrupt communication and cause hormonal imbalances. And a sign that we could be facing hormonal imbalances, if you just have a look below, we've got UTIs, hot flushes, water retention, facial hair, vaginal infections or dryness, breast cell overproduction. It could be a lot of things, and this could be an indication that we are not balanced in our hormone landscape. So that's some things to look out for. And we're going to look at why some of these toxins that can actually really knock our hormones off balance, and they're called xenoestrogens. So one of the biggest contributors to the disruption of hormones is xenoestrogens. These can interrupt the natural flow of our hormone function. What are they? They're actually synthetic compounds that are mimicking the natural estrogens in our body. So they're like imposters pretending to be estrogen. And normally natural estrogens do what they're meant to do the intended function, in our cycle or our body system. But if there's a xenoestrogen that's attached to the cell and mimics it, then the signal gets misread, or something else happens, and this can cause a lot of imbalance. Now, young females nowadays are starting their cycles earlier and earlier. It used to be 14, 15, and you're getting girls at 8 years old. This is one of the indications that there's a lot more xenoestrogens, excess estrogen in our body, that's causing everything to come off balance. these estrogens are found in things that we use every day, and the more we're exposed to these synthetic estrogens and toxins in our modern life, the more of an effect it's going to have on us. Some of the indications or imbalances that the xenoestrogens can cause are stated here. We've got endometriosis, premature menstruation, as we talked about, early uncomfortable menopause, overproduction of breast tissues in men and women. So men are getting synthetic estrogens in their body, and it's like, what are these things causing this sort of abnormal growth in the body, and infertility as well. So where do we find xenoestrogens, and how can we get rid of them in our body or in our home? So they're found in many things: tap water, plastics, perfumes, synthetic perfumes, pesticides, medication, and many beauty products. So lots of these things can be xenoestrogens in our body. On average, a woman puts 168 chemicals on their body every day. Those who are on this class, I don't think it's the case. I think we're a lot more natural, and we try we try to have as clean a routine as possible, don't we? But for people that we do this class for that are totally not in tune to any natural solutions, then this is probably what they face every day. Personal products can contain endocrine disruptors, and these phthalates, which is a family of chemicals that can really have a negative effect. They can include gender bending chemicals that can really confuse the natural flow of hormones in either of the sex. So these things should be avoided at all costs, and we want to stick to as natural as possible. So simple things that we can do every day to reduce our toxic load are to look at natural things. Some people think, oh, if I'm using a shampoo or a soap or whatever, it's just going on the skin and it's not going to affect anything. But don't be fooled into that. Whatever goes on our skin enters our bloodstream, and that can knock our hormones off balance. So yeah, just be thinking what we can reduce our exposure to. Look at what we're cleaning our house with. Look at what's going on our skin. Many of the essential oils can be used for cleaning and for skincare. We can make homemade things, and there's lots of natural things that we can use: deodorant, toothpaste, and also things like the chemical plugins that people have in their home. They are so bad for people, giving people headaches, causing breathing problems. So we really want to swap out. We can put a diffuser on and create some beautiful scents naturally that can have a benefit to our health, not a detriment. So it's really important to make sure that everything, just have a look around at things in your home that you can maybe swap out, and that will benefit the whole family as well. So it's only going to be a good thing, but also will help with reducing them xenoestrogens in our body as much as possible. So that's that. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. Okay, so when we look at the lifespan of our hormones from when we start our cycle, we can see there in our childbearing years, it's pretty steady flow, isn't it, of estrogen. But then we look at perimenopause, you can see the big dips there, and and what problems that can cause: mood swings and hot flushes and all these things. It's not very nice. Perimenopause can start at any time from the age of 36. And one of the reasons for that is because around that time, we've got two types of estrogen, E2 and E1. E2 is produced in our ovaries, so the normal place, but that starts to deplete at menopause, and E1 starts to be produced, which is produced in the liver. And that's one of the reasons why fat sits around the middle of our body, middle-age spread, because we're switching from E2 in the ovaries to E1, so middle-age spread. So yeah, generally I've found from just chatting to people, we're generally estrogen dominant and we have little progesterone. We want to try and balance that out, because progesterone is so it's just such a precious calming hormone, anti-aging hormone that we need to savor and hold on to. One of the things that can steal progesterone is being in a highly stressed state for long periods of time. Progesterone converts to cortisol. And in our fast-paced life, because of the excess stress that we have, you know, the cost of living and everything, if we've got that all the time, it causes our adrenal glands to produce a lot of cortisol because we're in the flight or fight response all the time. When we're under chronic stress, it can lead to adrenal fatigue. And this is where our body uses up all our cortisol and begins to steal the progesterone. And it's being stolen basically due to stress. So one of the biggest things we can do to help balance our hormones is to reduce stress. We can't reduce what's going on in the world with everything, but we can help how we react to things. We can use essential oils to help with stress. And Lisa does a stress and emotions class that's coming up soon, so we can use oils to support our stress and to calm us down. So that's really important. And then we've also got the Lifelong Vitality Pack. So out of everything, this has been a powerful blend of multivitamins, but whole food based. And this has really helped to flood the body with all the good things that they may be lacking, because our modern diet, we maybe eat healthily, but we don't get as much nutrition as we used to do in our food, fruit and vegetables. So this is doTERRA's #1 selling product. Often people notice the change straight away, if not within a few weeks of using it, for energy, for supporting hormone balance. I had a friend who tried ylang ylang essential oil for their menopause, but she found the Lifelong Vitality Pack absolutely changed everything for her. It really helped her body to function properly. And we know that if there's imbalances in the body, we need all the nutrients and all the vitamins and minerals to help support our cells and vitality. So if you haven't tried it yet, definitely go for the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And you've got a money back guarantee if you don't feel the difference. So that's something to think about. Just as a baseline for everything, for health and wellness, start with the Lifelong Vitality. There's herbal extracts in that can help with hormone balance as well. And then we've got the Women's Health Kit. So this is where we can help to balance some of them xenoestrogens. So the phytoestrogen is a plant-based polyphenol. It can be used at any phase of a woman's life, whether you start in your cycle or beyond. And if estrogen needs balancing, it self-corrects where there is imbalances in the body. And these are whole food phytoestrogens. They've got, I think it's pomegranate extract in it. And what they do is, when you think of, oh, I don't know what phytoestrogen does it add estrogen to the body? No, just think of it as fighting estrogen, fighting the bad estrogen. It gets rid of the rubbish estrogen and savors what's naturally occurring in the body. So it's a bit of a detoxer for excess estrogen. And if we're using that regularly, it can help with a lot of these symptoms, problems in the ovaries and things like that. So phytoestrogen would be a good way to start. If you're premenopausal, you would take 1 capsule with food. For perimenopausal and beyond, you can take 2 or 3 capsules on a daily basis with food again. And then we've also got the bone nutrient complex, which we'll talk about in a second. But I first wanted to talk about the Claricalm, which is a woman's best friend. So it's a blend of not just clary sage, which is known for helping with hormone balancing. We know that NHS midwives use clary sage in their labour wards. And I have that from common knowledge in a lot of hospitals still. So they see the benefits of helping with cramping and helping with hormone balance during labour. But it's also good for hot flushes, mood swings. We've got lavender, bergamot. When you look at all the essential oils, look at what they can do, and they are just designed to fit everything and help the body support balancing, support stress. Yeah, and you've got ylang ylang, which is great for, it's got phytoestrogenic properties in it, as well as Roman chamomile being so calming and antispasmodic as well. So all those have been designed to help with pain, inflammation, mood swings, hot flushes. We've had lots of lovely testimonials from people who've used this. And if one lady, her daughter was having a cycle was so off, very heavy periods, maybe 60 days she'd have a period, and Claricalm helped to reset a cycle, so she was bang on 30 days again. So that was amazing. Often people find with taking Claricalm that they get a surprise when the cycle starts again. It's like, oh, I didn't expect that, because I've been so calm. I've not had those big mood swings. I know my husband's definitely benefited from me having this. I used to be a bit of a nightmare. Well, still am, but not as mood swingy anyway at that time of the month. So it's definitely been a good thing. So Claricalm would be used on a daily basis. You could use it on the ankles, which is the reflex points where our ovaries are. Or you could also use it on the inner arms or pulse points. And you want to be using this ideally twice a day or once a day at least, just to get it into your system and help to balance. And often some people say it takes a few weeks to get in, but just keep on top of it. It's about regular use with this one, and it really will help. So the phytoestrogen is a blend of plant estrogen to balance hormones. The Claricalm is an essential oil that can be used on a regular basis, and they all work sort of symbiotically. They really help each other. The bone nutrient complex will go in to talk about that as well. There we go. Just mentioning some signs of if you've got low progesterone, just to watch out for. If you're noticing spotting, headaches, fibroids, this could be a sign that you're low in progesterone. So some of the things that you can do is obviously the Claricalm. There's an ingredient in the Claricalm which we'll talk about. But first of all, avocados can help with progesterone levels, PMS, and discomfort. The reason for that is avocados contain good fats and cholesterol, the good cholesterol that we need. If we don't have any fat or cholesterol in our body can't produce enough progesterone. So it's really important to make sure you're getting some good fats. If you don't like avocados, things like walnuts are a good source as well, but you could just Google that as well and find good sources. So your body needs healthy fat. So we had a lady who had migraines, and there were hormonal migraines, and even the doctor said you just need some fat in your diet. You need some chips. I'm not saying that's healthy fat, but she was on a no fat diet, and that did not help her hormone balance at all. So please, I'm not saying that eat loads of fat, but please make sure that you're eating some fat in your daily diet to help build a progesterone as well. And we've got an ingredient in the Claricalm called Vitex, and Vitex helps promote the production of progesterone, and it helps to keep the ovaries healthy. A constituent in it increases the dopamine receptors, and this affects the health of the ovaries. So I said you could roll Claricalm on your inner arms, ankles, but actually rolling it under your tummy if you have got any issues around the ovary area would be good. Do that twice a day. So there's 3 types of estrogen, just a little summary. There's estrogen that we naturally produce in our body. There's xenoestrogen, which we've seen in the chemicals and cleaning products. These are man-made estrogens. And we've got phytoestrogens found in plants. Which one of these do you think causes the most problems? Yes, it's the xenoestrogens. And we want to try and get rid of those as much as possible. And that's where the phytoestrogen, as we mentioned, it fights the fake estrogen, and often you will find yourself a lot clearer. Your body's not fighting all the time trying to get rid of all these estrogens. The phytoestrogen is doing the job for you. It's just going to help you. Some natural ways we can incorporate phytoestrogens: kidney beans, flax seeds in our diet, sesame and sunflower seeds we can add to our diet as well. And just going on finally with the bone nutrient, these were alarming statistics. So osteoporosis affects 200 million people worldwide, but it's 1 in 3 women over 50 will experience osteoporosis fractures, and men it's 1 in 5. So women are a lot more susceptible to osteoporosis. It's more prevalent in women because it's down to menopausal dip. So when you see there that chart, the bone density goes down like that, and that's because the natural estrogen declines, and that affects our bone density. Why are 75% of hip fractures occurring in women? And that's one of the reasons. So as a woman ages, our healthy bone mass and density become less and less. So scientists say we need adequate calcium, vitamin D throughout our life as part of a well-balanced diet. And this will help to reduce the risk of osteoporosis and getting hip replacements and all that. So building strong bones throughout a woman's years helps to maintain our bone mass, and it's a critical part of our health as we're getting older. It provides an excellent source of calcium and magnesium as well, so it also helps with sleep. These are bioavailable nutrients, so they're not synthetic, so our body can absorb it. And it also contains vitamins D2 and D3, which helps our bones to absorb calcium better. We don't get enough vitamin D, do we, in our winter in the north, so adding vitamin D to our diet will help as well in so many ways. So what essential oils can help us as well as these supplements? We've got, if you haven't got one of these kits, these are really good, because we know if we are not metabolizing estrogen, for example, if we're not regular on the toilet, then our estrogen will stay in our body, and we need to get it out regularly. We need a detox. So one of the reasons why we could be having excess is because we're holding on to it by literally not letting it go. One of our detox pathways is our digestive system. So think about how regular you are, and that would maybe sort of indicate any problems with your hormones as well. You want to be regular, at least daily, and you can use things like the lemon in water and Zengest and peppermint to help with being more regular with your digestion. Things for liver support as well is important to not have to detox the liver, and we can use things like frankincense for focus, peppermint for hot flushes, and lavender to calm us down as well. And that's some of the ways we can use the oils. If anyone wants a copy of this, we could send it afterwards. So I'll not show that because, yeah. So these are some of the things that I would definitely have a looking into with regards to all the symptoms that we face. There's a women's health kit. It's out of stock at the moment, but you can buy them individually. So that, you know, you can buy them together. If anyone's on the Lifelong Vitality, you can still use the bone nutrient. You just need, I think you need 1 or 2 instead of 3 a day or something like that. So you can, because you're still getting your vitamins in your Lifelong Vitality. Serenity soft gels, if anyone struggles with sleep, is amazing. Claricalm. Zendocrine is an oil blend to help detox and support our liver and kidney in detoxification. And Zengest, we've got the oil or the soft gels if we suffer with constipation to help with our flow better. And we've also got some things like Serenity, the oil. It's out of stock at the moment, but it was coming in. Things like Balance. So we've got lots of mood oils that can help ground us and calm us down as well if we're feeling that we need some help with that. So I will stop there and stop recording. And if you've got